Listen to me. The problem with most of us is we don't even realize the power of the words that are coming out of our own mouths. You don't need anybody else to tear you down because you do it to yourself every single day. You wake up in the morning and the first thing out of your mouth is negativity. I'm so tired. I can't do this. Life is hard. I'll never catch a break. And you wonder why you feel defeated before the day even starts. You don't understand that your words are seeds and the ground they fall on is your mind. Every time you tell yourself what you can't do, you're planting weeds that choke out your potential. You're literally speaking death into your own destiny. For just 3 days, I'm asking you to flip it. For 3 days, stop cursing your own life and start blessing it. Every time that thought comes in saying, I can't, I want you to push back and say, I will. When that feeling comes saying, it's too hard, I want you to answer back, I'm built for hard. When that voice says, it's impossible, you tell it, it's possible for me. Do you hear what I'm saying? For 3 days, guard your mouth like your future depends on it, because it does. See, some of you are talented, some of you are gifted, some of you are sitting on greatness, but you keep killing it with your own words. You're drowning your dreams before they can breathe because you keep rehearsing failure instead of declaring victory. You think it's harmless to joke about being broke, about being unlucky, about not being enough. But every time you say it, your mind writes it down like truth. Your body starts to respond to it. Your energy lowers. Your confidence drops. And before you know it, you've talked yourself out of the very blessings you've been praying for. So let's run an experiment. Just 3 days. I'm not asking for a lifetime yet. I'm asking you to test it. Every time you wake up, the first thing out of your mouth is life. You say, I'm thankful. I'm alive. Today I win. Today I move closer to my destiny. You don't let yourself complain. You don't let yourself whine. You catch every negative word before it escapes your lips and you turn it into fuel. Somebody says you can't. Smile and say, watch me. You feel tired. Tell yourself, my body is strong. My spirit is stronger. You make it a discipline to only release words that push you forward, not words that hold you back. And here's what's going to happen. At first, it'll feel fake. It'll feel uncomfortable. You'll say, this isn't me. This doesn't sound right. That's because for years, you've trained your tongue to speak defeat, and now you're rewiring it for victory. But if you keep doing it, if you stick with it for 3 days, your spirit is going to rise. You're going to feel energy you didn't know you had. You're going to start walking taller, thinking clearer, pushing harder, because your words will start to line up with your actions. And when your actions line up with your words, momentum is born. You've been waiting on a miracle, but the miracle has been waiting on your mouth. You've been waiting on life to change, but life has been waiting on you to change your language. Speak life, not death. Stop tearing yourself down and start building yourself up. Don't give your energy to defeat. Give your energy to destiny. For 3 days, every word you speak is going to either be a step toward your future or a step away from it. So make the choice. Speak in the direction of your purpose. Speak in the direction of your greatness. Speak in the direction of who you are becoming, not who you were. Because when you learn to master your mouth, you learn to master your mind. And when you master your mind, there is nothing on this earth that can stop you. Every morning you wake up, you've got a choice. You can let the day tell you who you are, or you can tell the day who you are. Too many of us roll out of bed waiting on something external to pump us up. We scroll, we check our phones, we hope somebody sends us a word that makes us feel alive, that makes us feel strong, that makes us believe. But listen to me, you can't afford to live like that. Because if you're waiting for the world to validate you, you're always going to be inconsistent. Some days they'll clap, some days they won't. Some days they'll cheer, some days they'll criticize. And if your fire depends on their applause, you'll never stay lit. That's why for 3 days, I'm asking you to affirm the grind. Don't wait for somebody else to speak into you. Speak into yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, I'm built for this. I'm disciplined. I'm unstoppable. You declare it before you even touch your shoes, before you brush your teeth, before you walk out the door. Because if you don't declare it, life will declare something else for you. Life will tell you you're too tired, you're too weak, you're too far behind. Life will remind you of every failure, every mistake, every missed opportunity. And if you don't have your own words ready, you'll start believing life's lies. The grind doesn't start in the gym. The grind doesn't start at the desk. The grind doesn't start in the classroom. The grind starts in your mouth. It starts in your heart. It starts with your decision to set the tone for the day with the words you speak. Because when you say, I'm disciplined, you walk like somebody with discipline. When you say, I'm unstoppable, you move like somebody who can't be broken. When you say, I'm built for this, you stop shrinking back from challenges and start stepping into them. Understand this. Your words are a thermostat, not a thermometer. A thermometer just reads the temperature. It just reacts to the environment. That's how most people live. They just echo whatever they feel. I'm tired. I'm stressed. I can't focus. That's thermometer talk. But a thermostat sets the temperature. It changes the environment. When you affirm the grind, you're not describing what you see. You're declaring what it's going to be. You're telling your mind, your body, your spirit, we're locked in today. No excuses, no distractions, no quitting. And when your mouth sets the tone, your actions follow. For 3 days, I want you to practice it. Before the world tells you who you are, you tell yourself. Before you face the weight, you say, I carry heavy things. I don't run from pressure. Before you face the test, you say, I am prepared. I am focused. I succeed under pressure. Before you step into that job, you say, I add value everywhere I go. I don't just show up. I show out. You don't wait for the challenge to come before you speak. You speak first, and then you meet the challenge with the words already inside of you. Now let me be real with you. The first time you do this, it might feel corny. It might feel awkward. You'll feel silly talking to yourself in the mirror. But that's because you've spent years rehearsing weakness, rehearsing doubt, rehearsing defeat. Of course, confidence feels foreign when you haven't practiced it. Of course, power feels strange when you've been feeding yourself fear. But give it 3 days. Commit to it like your life depends on it. And what you'll see is, after a while, your spirit will start catching up to your words. You'll notice that when a problem shows up, instead of folding your eyes, instead of saying, I can't, you say, I will. Instead of waiting for motivation, you create it. That's the shift I'm asking for. Stop being reactive. Start being proactive. Stop waiting on inspiration. Start generating it. Stop letting the grind intimidate you and start affirming that you were born for it. Because the truth is, you can't build greatness without repetition, without pressure, without discipline. And discipline isn't sexy. Discipline isn't easy. Discipline doesn't get you claps in the moment. But discipline is what separates average from great. And if you're going to live at a high level, you've got to remind yourself every single day that you're built to handle the discipline. So don't let 3 days pass without affirming the grind. Don't step into a single morning without speaking into yourself. Tell yourself who you are before the world tries to tell you who you're not. Look yourself in the eye and declare it. I'm ready. I'm prepared. I'm relentless. Because when you affirm the grind will start to affirm you back. That voice in your head, that quiet one, that sneaky one, it's the most dangerous enemy you've got. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't fight you with fists, it fights you with thoughts. And for too long, you've been letting it run free, letting it tell you stories that aren't true, letting it narrate your life in a way that keeps you small. It says, you're not good enough. You'll never make it. You're not smart enough. You're too late. You don't have what it takes. And because you don't check it, you start believing it. You start moving like it's true. You start living less than who you were created to be. For 3 days, I'm challenging you to cut that voice off the moment it starts talking. Don't entertain it. Don't let it finish its sentence. The second it tries to speak death over you, you cancel it with truth. When it says, you're not enough, you respond, I am more than enough. When it says, you can't handle this, you fire back, I was made for this. When it says, you're going to fail again, you declare, I'm stronger than I've ever been, and I will rise. You don't let that negativity marinate in your spirit, not for a second, because the longer it sits, the deeper it roots. You've got to understand that your mind is a battlefield. Every thought that comes through is either a weapon for you or a weapon against you. And if you're not vigilant, if you're not paying attention, you'll let the enemy set up camp in your own head. Think about it. You would never let a stranger walk into your house, insult you, rob you, and sit on your couch, right? But every day, you let that negative voice walk into your mind and make itself comfortable. For 3 days, I want you to slam the door shut. I want you to tell that voice, it has no authority here. And here's the truth. Canceling negative self-talk is not about pretending problems don't exist. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about refusing to let lies control you. Yes, you've failed before. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, you've fallen short. But those failures are not your identity. Those mistakes are not your destiny. The negative voice will take one chapter of your story and try to convince you it's the whole book. That's why you've got to interrupt it. That's why you've got to replace it with truth. For 3 days, every time that inner critic shows up, I want you to outspeak it. Out loud. Don't just think it, say it. Say, I am strong. I am capable. I am chosen. I am resilient. Because there's power in hearing your own voice declare life over you. There's power in refusing to let silence be filled with negativity. When you speak, you shift the atmosphere. When you speak, you train your mind to follow your words instead of your fears. And let me tell you something. You're not the only one fighting this battle. The greatest champions, the most successful people, the ones you admire, they all hear that same negative voice. They all get whispers of doubt, moments of fear, flashes of insecurity. The difference is they don't let it linger. They cut it off and replace it with something stronger. They've trained themselves to be louder than the lies. And that's what I'm asking you to do. For 3 days, practice being louder than the lies. At first, you're going to catch yourself too late. You'll realize you've already been listening to that voice for a few minutes. Don't get discouraged. Just stop it right there and replace it. The next time, you'll catch it quicker, and quicker. And before you know it, you'll start noticing that the voice doesn't come around as often. Because negativity only grows where it's welcomed. When you stop entertaining it, it stops visiting. Imagine what your life would look like if you weren't constantly battling yourself. Imagine how much energy you would have if you weren't wasting it fighting lies in your own head. Imagine how much progress you could make if you believed in yourself the way you're supposed to. That's the life waiting for you on the other side of this practice. That's the strength that comes when you learn how to cancel negative self-talk immediately. So for 3 days, don't give that voice 1 inch. Don't give it 1 second. Don't give it 1 opportunity to tear you down. Replace it every single time with truth, with life, with power. Because the voice in your head may be quiet, but your response has to be louder. At the end of the day, when it gets quiet, when the noise of the world dies down, that's when your words matter the most. That's when the truth of who you are and where you're going needs to be spoken out loud. See, too many of you let the day end in defeat. You lay down rehearsing what went wrong. You replay the mistakes. You focus on what you didn't get done. And you go to sleep feeding yourself failure. And then you wonder why you wake up drained, why you wake up already carrying the weight of yesterday. For 3 days, I want you to end the night differently. I want you to declare your future out loud before you close your eyes. Don't speak where you are. Speak where you're going. Don't rehearse what's broken. Declare what's being built. Don't fall asleep reciting pain. Fall asleep declaring promise. When you lay down, I want you to say, I am successful. I am healthy. I am strong. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am walking into everything that belongs to me. Speak it like it's already done. Speak it like it's already yours. Because the truth is, your mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's rehearsed. If you keep rehearsing defeat, your body and your spirit will live like it's permanent. But if you keep declaring victory, your body and your spirit will move like it's inevitable. Think about it. Before an athlete wins the game, they've already won it in their mind 100 times. Before a champion raises the trophy, they've already seen themselves holding it. Before greatness shows up in reality, it's been spoken and declared in the unseen. That's why your declarations matter. That's why the last words you speak before you close your eyes are so critical. They're the seeds you're planting in the soil of your subconscious. And while you're sleeping, those seeds are taking root. For 3 days, I want you to make this a non-negotiable routine. At night, before you touch that pillow, you speak it. You say, tomorrow I rise stronger. Tomorrow I move closer to my destiny. Tomorrow I'm operating with clarity, with power, with focus. You speak to your future self like they're already here. You don't let doubt have the final word. You don't let fear tuck you in. You don't let failure sing you to sleep. You end the night in victory so you can wake up in victory. Now, I already know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, oh, but what if I don't feel it? What if my reality doesn't look like the words I'm saying? And I get it. That's where the struggle is. But let me tell you something. Your feelings are temporary, but your future is permanent. Don't let temporary emotions decide the permanent story of your life. When you declare your future, you're not lying to yourself. You're leading yourself. You're pulling yourself into alignment with where you're going, not where you are. So maybe tonight your bank account doesn't reflect abundance, but you declare, I am wealthy in discipline. I am wealthy in vision. And the overflow is coming. Maybe right now your body doesn't feel strong, but you declared, I am healed. I am whole. I am walking in health. Maybe right now doors seem closed, but you declare the right opportunities are opening for me and nothing can stop what's mine. You speak it not because it's visible yet, but because it's inevitable if you stay locked in. And here's the beauty of it. When you start speaking your future out loud, your actions begin to follow. You wake up more intentional. You approach the day with clarity. You make choices that line up with what you've been declaring. You start to notice doors you would have overlooked before. You move differently because you've already rehearsed victory in your spirit. You've already set the tone for what's about to happen. I'm telling you, for 3 days, if you just commit to declaring your future every single night, something is going to shift. Your energy will shift. Your focus will shift. Your faith will shift. You'll stop living like a victim of circumstances and start living like the author of your story. You'll stop waiting for life to tell you who you are and start declaring it yourself. So tonight, before you close your eyes, don't let silence have the last word. Don't let defeat have the last word. Open your mouth and declare your future like it already belongs to you.